Ellis. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good to see you both.
I know. I've seen you on the golf course.
Yeah, I appreciate you've been coming out and supporting some of our golf scrambles, our fundraisers through that. I appreciate your presence there.
Last Friday we dodged the rain for the men's basketball outing at Burrow.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen, but we were able to pull it off.
It was fun. Yeah, it's cool seeing. I've never been to that, but alumni relations. With your coaches, with your faculty, with your staff, it's amazing. Yeah. Kind of just seeing that from the outside. It's really just a strong community.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. You know, one of the things that I think is true when students come and enroll at Spring Arbor University, they develop great, strong relationships. We like to call it they grow deep roots, right? Yeah. They are able to to really be invested in, develop wonderful mentoring relationships with coaches, professors, other staff members, but then also develop lifelong friendships. Right. And so creating those opportunities for people to come back, to get to spend some time doing something that they love, it's an easy thing for us to do. Yeah, it's great.
They stay here too. They graduate and they stay here. I think there's something like 7,000 alum that live now in Jackson.
I should probably know that number, shouldn't I?
I
Jackson County, the number of Jackson County alumni.
It's significant.
But you go and you look at across a lot of different sectors from healthcare to I think of some of the bigger accounting and finance companies. You look at banking industry. You look at education. Across the spectrum of a lot of nonprofit leadership. Or Spring Arbor University grads. It's a wonderful thing to see and be a part of. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, congratulations also on the unveil of a new brand promise. And this is as you start your 152nd year.
152 years, which is incredible to consider. When you think of the particularly this. I mean, these are tough times in higher ed. I mean, in fact, I was talking to our community yesterday, and just the numbers of folks that are and the shrinking percentage of folks that are going. In fact, I had somebody ask me this the other day. He's a medical doctor. He asked me. He said, "Is college still worth it?" And I said, let me ask you this question. Do you think that you ought to have doctors? Should you have lawyers? Should you have? And but one of the things that actually was just released is the state of Michigan did a study, and we used to say this for years, but an individual has a baccalaureate degree, has a 4-year degree, on average, right? These are all averages, right? This is not there are always those outliers, but on average makes $35,000 more every year than somebody without a baccalaureate degree. And so over the course of a lifetime, that ranges from, if you work 30 years, it's over $1 million. If you work 40 years, 22 to 62, that's $1.5 million. And so, there is no doubt, the return on the investment of a place like Spring Arbor University is huge, is absolutely huge, and it is worth it. And so, and then when you add in, when you talk about the brand promise, I hinted that out already because you mentioned the alumni that are so connected. This new brand promise I think does capture what we do extraordinarily well, which is to grow deep roots. That people come into the community of Spring Arbor University. It's a very intentional community. It's not like going to, and I'm not trying to decry and speak against other colleges and universities, but it's not the same thing as going to a Michigan State or University of Michigan. You may not have as big of football crowds, but I'll tell you what, you're going to be known and you're going to be loved. And those faculty and those staff members are going to want the very best for you as far as your development, your growth, and to help you achieve. And so that's why our outcomes, our university outcomes, 98, almost 99% of our 1,000 graduates last year. Now think about this, 98, and we were one shy of being 99% positive outcomes, meaning they were either in grad school or they were employed.
Shocking.
Upon graduation.
Honestly, it's amazing.
I mean,
it is.
Because we are, that's the type of institution we are, and so it's the faith commitment, it's the academic rigor, the infusion of that, that we say creates then the soil, right, of where our students are able to grow these deep roots, be invested, be prepared, and go out into the world ready to impact the world in wonderful ways. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see.
Also beautiful is the campus, and every time you visit, it's different. There's something new, and you're about to break ground on another new project.
Yeah, we are. I tell you what, we started a few years ago. The way that you lead into a comprehensive campaign, right, is you have a planning phase where you kind of really look at what are the things that are most important, the priorities then. Then you go into the silent phase where you're trying to raise money. On the 13th, we'll actually have our public launch where we'll kind of take the full scope. So I won't tell you the full amount, but I'll just tell you this, that the amount of money that we were going to announce has increased, it increased again. And so it's amazing to see the way that the God has blessed the efforts of the fundraising, the Spring Arbor University, individuals coming out and just wanting to be a part of the incredible work that takes place at Spring Arbor. And so one of the big pieces that we need is we needed an update and a refresh of our science facilities. We've created nursing labs, we've created mechanical engineering labs, but we needed to refresh the science building. It was built in the 70s, or right at 1970. And there have been some things, we did Weatherwax aided us in doing some renovation to some labs in the past, but we needed to get that modernized. And so we're starting right now. In fact, on Monday, they're starting the demolition of parts of our, some lecture halls and some facilities, and then the first phase is adding an atrium to the if you're familiar with the campus, it's the northeast side of Whiteman Gibbs Science Center, which is closest to the bell tower. You have beautiful, mostly glass atrium to host and create space for our students to gather, and then full renovation of the lecture halls and and the bathroom facilities. That's all phase one. So that's starting Monday.
It's exciting.
And so super excited about that.
Yeah, if you have not been out to campus in a while, take a short drive out and check it out. It's amazing. You were recently in South Korea. Tell us about that trip.
Well, I'm going to South Korea.
Oh, you're going?
I'm going
in
I think a month from today. I fly to South Korea. Yeah, so I'm trying to learn.
Well, what are you doing in South Korea?
Well, I tell you, it's a quite a humbling invitation, and so Billy Graham. I think most people understand who he is and the impact he had on our world. In 1970, thought it might be a good idea to try to create a gathering, a summit of global Christian leaders, and had that first gathering in 1970 in Lausanne, and so it's been called the Lausanne Congress, and they've had, this will be the fourth time since 1970 that this global gathering of Christian leaders are coming together to just talk about the broader state of our world and the Christian faith and ways in which we can work as a body of Christ to make him known in the world and to make the love of God known to his creation.
What an interesting trip. I'm anxious to hear about that when you get
back.
I
do. And then to think, oh my goodness, how in the world do I get invited to? It was such a humbling thing to think that somebody thought that of me.
Yeah. Well, that'll be a great experience for sure.
Yeah, and then also to see, I've not ever been to Asia, so I've never been to Asia. I've been all over the world, but I've never been to Asia. So I'm excited to get to South Korea, to see Seoul. What a year! It's just an incredible city, and then to have the opportunity to interact with folks from around the world. It'll be. I'm sure it'll be transformational for me.
I bet. Yeah.
Maybe you can get around to golfing with Tom Kim.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
I should send him a note.
You should, and then see if we can delay his mandatory service for a couple of years while you're over there.
Right.
Kids are back on campus soon. I mean, things are going. What's the buzz like out there?
Yeah, we had a big community gathering yesterday, and just a wonderful start of our academic year. So a lot of our returning students are back on campus, student leaders, student athletes. In fact, we've already had a men's soccer game. They won 11-0.
I saw that.
Like, what? So it was great for us. There's a place where I was like, hey, this is so we're there, a lot of things are already happening. So tomorrow is our move-in day for our new students, and so we're anticipating 270 plus students moving onto campus, which is great. Our enrollment is up on campus. Our overall enrollment is going to be over 2,400 students, so up in overall enrollment, and so we feel good about the start of the year, and what's transpiring and taking place. It's a positive feel.
Tomorrow, I'm going to bet that there is going to be a dad that brings a couch on a trailer that will not fit in the door.
Oh, I think you're exactly right. Yeah. And I'll
Do
tell you this.
Are you walking around helping?
And I'll tell you this. There's going to be a dad who brings a couch that will not fit in the door, but he will not touch the couch.
Yes.
That's one of the things I love about what is our students and our community.
Yeah.
One of the things that if you come out and look at, we take pride that when you come to campus and you're moving on campus, you're not having to move yourself in.
Yeah.
It's like ants descending on people as they come in. They get their stuff, and so it's one of those things that we try to do to really make people feel welcome and excited about being on campus.
And I know the whole community is welcome on campus, particularly at events, big homecoming,
Yes.
several day long extravaganza, which is just an awesome atmosphere. And I know you'll want everyone to come out for that.
Yeah, that's October 5th, I think is our homecoming, and we've got a lot of activities planned, a lot of wonderful events that anybody can come out and be a part of that. You don't have to even if that's your first day coming to Spring Arbor University, that's a great day to come. There's a lot of events, a lot of activities for children, all the way to adults, and so it's runs the whole spectrum.
Well, we hope you have a safe and fruitful trip to South Korea. Thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to be with you both.
President of Spring Arbor University, Dr. Brent Ellis. More of the morning show right after this.